This is the Not Figment Podcast.
Tell me about it. It's a cold world out there. Sometimes I think I'm getting a little frosty myself.
My sound,
Mechanical found ghost.
but my ghetto is
Animal found toast.
my sound,
Mechanical found ghost.
but my ghetto is
Animal found toast.
my sound,
Mechanical found ghost.
but my ghetto is
Animal found toast. Animal found toast.
but my ghetto.
Animal. Life's ill. Sometimes life might kill. For the mega 5 digits, grab mic, might strike type ill. It's like real. I keep bills when life feel like earth don't spin. Whirlwinds might blend. Life's at a standstill. Dangerous cause man kills and still. Cats visualize life ghetto like one mind. Sometimes these cats see life street like incomplete light and be like I'ma live life after this one crime. One line from the megala blow spine. Everyone knows the city's ill. Cats kill still black man holds nine. Gotta chill star. Your law be the light of Shamar. Work hard Shamar see cipher law. Adapt bars snatch stars and detach large channels. But our bars handle might break mics. Voodoo megala the cannibal 8 mics. Strive live live fuck 5. I want 108 mics.
Son, did
Yo,
you see
yo.
that kid, yo?
Chill out,
Yo,
man.
son,
Chill
did
out.
you? Yo, son, he pulled it out.
Keep your eye 5 digits, cock bitty, 9 milli, 1 floor, shot silly, spun city, 1 verse, hit milli. Little girl spinning curl, 360, living in the world shitty. Yo, they spun young earth, now shitty. NY50, my shoe, black head, nigga story, I sold spacesuit to crackhead. DTs operate mechanically, po-po and slow-mo. Black kid locked away, add a key, plus 1 4th pound of smoke flow. While blockhead Fabian, Ahmed Arabian, laying in bodeg, holding drama AK, smoke like Asalama OK, choking vodka mixed with OJ, wig splits, mad quick, spinning 360 wave. C4 blew the door, number 8, summer face, tank top with a knot, number 9 said run the plays, took my girl stereo, CD, plus the tape, star, don't wet that, fuck the face that stuck to play, jetback to Santa Cruz, California, IA, piece of cigar, locked up, cat born, 9 ways, come home, mad soon, live ill, life phase, it's like little black girl got shot, damn it hurts when they spun earth and we're not gonna make a difference, so we get locked. Caught in the shit and losing what we got. Come on, black equal.
You know that you're one of the few predator species that preys even on itself.
And if there's crack in a basement,
Crackheads stand adjacent, anger displacement, food stamp arrangement. You were a stillborn baby. Mother didn't want you, but you were stillborn. Boy meets world, of course his pops is gone. What you figure? That chalky outline on the ground is a father figure. So he steps to the next stencil. That's a hustler infested with money and diamond cluster. Let's talk in layman terms. Rotten apples and big worms, early birds and poachers. New York is evil at its core, so those who have more than them prepare to be victims. Ate up by vultures, the politicians in the dog-eat-dog culture that'll sick 'em. Lack of mineral, we take it personal. A pigeon can't drop shit if it never flew. Every day is no frills, empty krills, broken 40 bottles at MCs with skills. I rest my head on 115, but miracles only happen on 34. So I guess life is mean, and death is the median, and purgatory is the mold that we settle in. No doubt. I've got that Eve's Bayou sense of touch, so I fought to touch every hand of a fan to read their thoughts. Battered wives, molested children, roaches on the floor, rats in the ceiling. Cats walk around New York with 2 villains. One is in the mouth, the other does the killing. I'm Vass, Air, Kramer, top billing. Yo, rest in peace to Big L. One
Not Figment Podcast. You just heard Iron Galaxy by Cannibal. Track from 2000 or 2001. And the opening track from what I think is the single best musical album of all time. Cannibal, very under-respected, but somehow legendary at the same time as far as hip-hop goes. Contemporaries of Definitive Jux, LP from Run the Jewels actually produced the album. It was dropped on the Def Jux label, 2001. And the reason I love them so much is they captured the dystopian hopelessness of New York City, inner city Harlem, like nobody else, in a style that fused this absolute despair of living in a neglected segment of society with these future sensibilities, this imagery of outer space and metallic flying spaceships and interplanetary warfare, but painted a picture of bleak, hopeless, futureless inner city poverty, rats in the ceiling, child abuse, drug distribution, rampant crime on top of it. And I think it was just absolutely beautiful. There's no album in history that's ever caught up that well. Deltron 3030 is kind of along a similar vibe, but the way that they fused technology and darkness, I think, was unique. They captured lightning in a bottle with that album. I've never heard anything like it. And I think I've listened to that album 3,000 times. It's untouchable in my opinion. And, usually I'll start these podcasts off with my own tracks, but this being the lead-off track for something that I'm pretty sure is the best album of all time, they get a little extra respect from me. They inspired so much of my own sound, drew me towards music that sort of defined my taste and my outlook on the world. And so I owe Cannibal and LP a lot of gratitude for the inspiration. Thank you. And this next track you're coming in is inspired again big time by these guys. It's a track by me featuring vocals from Motu. It's called Paindrops. That was a track from me, Figment, with vocals from Motu, M-O-T-U. It's called Paindrops. Up next in the background, you're hearing a track called Midnite by Jensen, Interceptor. This dude, one of the more twisted producers you'll ever hear from, somewhere in Europe. This track came out on Gesaffelstein and the Hackers label called Zone. Some seriously menacing, industrial sounding, EBM tinged, but just raw, face pummeling techno. Without all the fireworks and the fanfare. All but the music. This track again is called Midnite. EBM techno at a cool 115 BPM. You gotta love it. That was Jensen Interceptor with Midnite. The label Zone, again, like I said, owned by none other than Gesaffelstein. And I don't really need to get started on why or how Gesaffelstein became the sort of iconic festival headlining act that he is now. Not because I can't talk about it, but because I could go on about it for hours. The guy served as endless inspiration for me. Studied his music backwards, forwards, hours and hours and hours. Especially the unreleased tracks he put out at the beginning of his career, before Turbo and all the breakthrough stuff that brought him to the North American market. I think he's in his own league, fully formed artist with a serious vision. And this track you're hearing now is from his Turbo EP, Variations. It came out almost 10 years ago, late 2010. And this track is called Glass. Gesaffelstein with Glass off Turbo Records, Variations EP, 2010. Gesaffelstein is described as unique a lot, and I think he's more of an original. Fine distinction, but reason being the hacker, who, in Gesaffelstein's own words, said taught him everything. Also French, been around since the 90s. I've played a bunch of his other tracks on this podcast before. If you like Gesaffelstein's sound, you'll probably love the hacker. Kind of the one that created it, the Korg MS-20, and these cold, calculated dystopian soundscapes with those trippy Doppler effect, Kraftwerk style robot noises flying around everywhere. Anyway, that was Glass by Gesaffelstein. Up next we got Cold Blooded by Zoo.
Such a cold-blooded love. I'm afraid of your touch. Such a cold-blooded love, but I love it too much. You had me on your list, the target of your mission. All these times you would be missing me. It's really guilt admission, baby. The game we're playing is addictive, and you know I'll risk it all to win it. 'Cause I know you better than you think I do. No one knows you're cold-blooded, psycho, waiting for your next move. No one knows you're cold-blooded, psycho, waiting for your next move, baby.
Alright, that was Cold Blooded by Zoo. Not too much to say, honestly. Great melody, great songwriting, awesome vibes. He creates a unique vibe, has his own artistic fingerprint, and I think is one of the important artist for our generation. It's been awesome to see him take his career to the level where it's been. Always look forward to his releases and albums, because you know there's nobody else in the world that can put out the stuff that he does. So that was Cold Blooded, and up next we got a track by Foss. Of course, the Hot Creations OG. This was from a couple years before Hot Creations really got to be the behemoth that it is now, and I think it captured the purity, the love for these 80s synthesizer sounds that he had, and the old soul, and just the vocal samples that he uses that capture a feeling so well. This track is from 2010, and it's called You Got Me. like sweet cotton candy nostalgia for summer. Lovely Foss. He captures that the soul, the sweetness in his music so well, especially some of the older stuff. But always, you hear it in his tunes. The authenticity comes across. I love listening to his old stuff. Now we're going back across the pond. This is a old one from the man at the head of the Dynamic record label. This is Solomun, featuring a vocal sample from Tupac Shakur. It's called Something We All Adore.
Called Fortune and Fame. And it's like the hook goes, something we all adore. It's the one thing worth dying for. Nothing but pain, stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. Something we all adore. The one thing we dying for. Nothing but pain, stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. That's what I hear. Called Fortune and Fame. And it's like the hook goes, something we all adore. The one thing worth dying for. Nothing but pain, stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. Something we all adore. The one thing we dying for. Nothing but pain, stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. That's what I hear. Solomun with Something We All Adore, unofficially featuring Tupac Shakur on the vocals. Up next, time for a classic.
This track loves being played out, apparently, by everyone from Disclosure to Mikey Lyon from Desert Hearts. Shout out to everybody from that crew. This is just a track that always works. In the middle of a set, whether people know it or not, it somehow feels like everyone's heard it before, felt that energy before. This is the Late Night Tough Guy remix of I Get Deeper by Roland Clark.
I get deeper into this thing. The deeper I go, the more knowledge I know what to sing, what to bring, what. I get deeper into the vibe. What? Chilling in the corner at the shelter all by myself, checking it out. I'm not dancing no more, but why? Why? What? How on earth are you supposed to vibe around the fake ones, the ones that say they know what is what, but they don't know what is what? They just strut. What the fuck? What? I get deeper into this thing, and I pretend that they're not there. I just stare. Up in the booth at the Dread Man, spinning the song, spinning it strong, playing things like, when can our house begin? That's my shit, what? Woo! I get deeper when people start to disappear, and it's about 6 o'clock. Woo! I'm feeling hot. Take off my sweater and my pants, and I start to dance, and all the sweat just goes down my face. And I pretend that there's nobody there but me in this place. I get deep, yo, I get deep. What? Woo! I get deep when he takes all the bass out the song and all you hear is highs. And it's like, oh, shit. I get deep. I get deep, and the rhythm flows through my blood like alcohol, and I get drunk, and I'm falling all over the place. But I catch myself right on time, right on line with the beat, and it's so sweet. I get deep. Why, if house music was air, then Dr. Love would be my song, and I would only take deep breaths and fill my lungs with the rhythm, with the bass. I get deep. Now it's about 3 and I see people doing plie, spinning, jumping, and grinding as if they had wings on their feet, raising both hands in the air as if Jesus was a DJ himself, spinning those funky house beats. And in this temple, we all pray in unity for the same things. Rhythmic pause without cause, bass from those high definition speakers sitting in the corner on each side of the room, giving us the boom, boom, boom to our zoom. The smell of an L lit while walking by, but the music gets me high. Sanctified like an old lady in church, we get happy. We stomp our feet, we clap our hands, we shout, we cry, we dance, and we say, sweet Lord, speak to me. Speak to me. Because we love house music, and on this night it brings us together like a family reunion every week. We eat, we drink, we laugh, we play, we sing. So for all you hip hoppers, you doo-woppers, name droppers, you pill poppers, come into our house to get deep. What? To get deep.
Everybody gets deep for a track like that. Now, if you're telling me if you're in the right state of mind at the right club with the right DJ and they play that track and you're not going to be vibing, well, then you're just lying to me. Love that one. Never gets old. Up next, we got a track from a couple Italians that I think need a lot more exposure, and frankly, I just wish they would come and play in the US a lot more. It's the Deepshakerz with a Z at the end. They have put out on a lot of the sort of tribal tech and European tech house labels, not really the UK style. A little classier, a little deeper, meant for nightclub usage, not daytime festival stages. Impeccable production, great sense for atmosphere, super, super nice percussion in all their stuff. And they just deliver the grooves. It's top-notch stuff. This is Absinthe by the Deepshakerz. Deepshakerz from Italy. I want to raid their studio and see what they use for percussion, even if it is just samples. Their bounce, their groove, their ability to get people moving, it's undeniable. Really, really enjoy playing out their tracks anytime I DJ. And up next, we have a Portuguese icon, truly, really under-recognized, has been DJing, I think, since the mid-'80s or something, from Lisbon and in Madrid, I think. Has an amazing radio show that he puts out every week on SoundCloud, released on every big house label there is. I can't even list them. And for some reason, again, never plays the US, although I'd love to see him here. This is Carlos Manaca we're talking about, Manaca. One of the absolute biggest DJs in Portugal, can play anything from a 1 hour to a 9 hour set without blinking an eye. And in his productions always brings that tropical, tribal flavor. Love his stuff. This track is one of my absolute all-time favorites. One of the best vocal samples, or usage of the best vocal samples you'll ever hear. It's called Pushin, and it came out on Orange Recordings in 2015. This is Pushin by Carlos Manaca. was Pushin by Carlos Manaca. Perfect name for the track. You can imagine hearing that in a club with a real sound system. Pumping, grooving, relentless, constantly ramping you higher and higher and higher. His usage of white noise, I think, is actually one of the best things in his tracks. I assume that he's spent so many thousands and thousands of hours DJing, talking about Carlos Manaca, that he's been able to sort of boil that down and extract like the essence of energy control and just inject that into like a 6 or 8 minute track. And that's why the momentum in his songs always carries so well. Up and down, and then up and up and up and up and up. Just a big fan of his productions. I think he's the man. His energy control was a big inspiration for me creating these tracks that are loop-driven, mind-bending, trippy, sort of hypnotic, and drag you into this mode of just kind of knowing what the next note, the next progression, the next semitone is going to be, but with a rhythm underlying it, sort of lulling you into a hypnotic sense. And that was the idea behind this track you're hearing now. This is an original Figment track, and I would put the name here, but it's not appropriate for all ages. Samples for a track like that. That was an original Figment production, named but not here. And now we're going all the way back, turn of the century. One of those tracks that everybody has heard, but is still rooted in authenticity. I really don't need to say much about this. This is Daniel Bedingfield with Gotta Get Through This original version. think every artist dreams of making a song with that kind of staying power. I was not really at the age where I could listen to music when this thing came out, but I wish I was, but I still appreciate it so much 20-something years later. No idea what Daniel Bedingfield's up to now, but we thank him for that contribution, because that's a timeless UK garage track. It was one of the first ones that got me into UKG at a young age, led me down this rabbit hole of tracing the influences on Daniel Bedingfield and finding, LB and Artful Dodger and all these sort of underground producers that were putting stuff out on pirate radio, and just makes you want to up and down so many times putting together stuff in the studio. I keep it as a reference, something that I look back on a lot. So from a technical perspective, it's awesome, but from a vibes perspective, I think it's even more special. You don't often hear songs that can give you a mood that easily. So a lot of respect for Flashmob for that one. Upcoming now, we got the last track. This is from Donato Dazzi. Not really known very much in the US, but truly respected, incredible elder statesman of dance music in Europe. He is half of Voices from the Lake with Neil, another Italian brother of his. This track was made as a contribution to a relief package for the Japanese earthquake a few years ago, and it is absolutely sublime. I don't want to say anything else. Just enjoy, and I'll see you next time.